So before Mark and I got together, I actually started out as a health expert. I was known as the detox diva, and I had info products and ebooks, and I had one of the largest detox spas of its kind in Northern California. This was in the Bay Area before we moved here to Austin. And so I had that detox spa for 4 years. We were on track to do over $1 million. In the first 4 years, I built that to over 4,000 clients. Okay? And the first year alone, we did over $250,000. And my friends started asking me, well, how are you building your practice so fast? Like, how is this happening? And I'm like, well, it's really not that big of a deal. I have a talk. I have a signature talk. Interesting. I have a talk, and I go to like women's groups and chamber and Rotary and, other events, and I share my talk, and then I get clients. I get like a bunch of clients all at once, like 30 or 40 clients all at once. And they're like, shit, that sounds really awesome. We need to know how to do that. And so, I was still using all these different strategies. It wasn't just speaking in the beginning. I was doing some pay-per-click. I was doing a little bit of SEO, article marketing. I was doing all these things, networking, right? All the things that most entrepreneurs do to build their business. Well, we didn't hit 7 figures because 2008 happened. And I lost 80% of my business like that, overnight, okay? So here I am in Northern California with a big fat mortgage, a big fat lease for the spa that I have. I had 14 employees at the time, so I had a big fat payroll, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? My world was completely rocked. And I remember I was talking to one of my girlfriends, and I was basically doing the ugly cry, right, ladies? You know how we can do this sometimes? Men, maybe you can do this too, but ladies, we And I was like, girl, what am I gonna do? How long is this gonna last? And now we know that the 2008 crash, how many of you were affected by that? I mean, maybe I should ask, who wasn't affected by that, right? Well, it hit me big time. And I had to get really creative. So I'm on the phone with my girlfriend, I'm crying, I'm bawling my head off, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? And she said, well, listen, I'm starting to produce these multi-speaker events, and I could use some help. And this was my in the seminar world. I had over 20 years experience with personal development, walked on fire with Tony Robbins, did Mastery University, Landmark, all the tapes, all the CDs, all the books, right? Just like you guys, years and years of inner work, 10 years of therapy. I mean, all of the work that we all do. We know the law of attraction. We've watched The Secret a time or two, but it still wasn't clicking. And that was really frustrating because I'm like, I know I'm a rock star, but it wasn't showing up. And so that difference between where I actually was and the vision that I had for myself, that was the biggest pain. More than the income was how I was feeling about myself. I'm like, can I really do this? Do I have what it takes? I think I do, but when that reflection isn't coming back, I went into a big depression. I went into a lot of self-doubt. And it was a hard time. So what happened is the universe poured me into seminar land. So I started by producing big multi-speaker events in the back of the room, orchestrating experiences. Mark Victor Hansen has been on my stage with the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. He sold over 1 billion books worldwide with Jack Canfield. Lisa Sasevich, Laurel Langmeyer, she's been on The Secret. Marsha Weeder, she's been on Oprah twice. Okay, the list goes on. So my subconscious mind has probably seen close to 10,000 offers. Okay? So I learned what works, what doesn't, when it's hot, when it flops, over and over and over again. And at the time, when I was in the back of the room, I had no idea what my message was gonna be. Because I had all this detox stuff, but that had tanked. So I'm like, what is my message gonna be? I had no idea. I'm like, I wanna be on stage. I love speaking. I feel like I was like born to be a speaker. How many of you're like born to be a speaker? Like, give me that fucking microphone. Oh yeah. Right, So I knew I wanted to be on stage, but I didn't know what my message was gonna be. So there I found myself behind the scenes, supporting everybody else, right? Being a promoter for everybody else, helping everybody else get rich and famous. Meanwhile, I had to file bankruptcy. I lost my house. I actually took a contract job, and I remember that, I was so underappreciated, and I wasn't seen for the value that I could bring. They kept paying me late. I had to call their business manager 3 times to get the paycheck into my account, just so I could get groceries. Okay? So for those of you that are in a tough spot, I get it. Mark and I both get it. And we see you. We see your brilliance. We see your potential. We believe in you. And that's what it took. Mark and I started dating, and I remember I was in my small little apartment that I could barely afford, and we had just started dating. We lived about an hour and a half away from each other. And I was sitting on the kitchen counter with my feet up, and I'm on the phone with him, and he's like, "Why are you putting up with this? Babe, you're better than this. I believe in you," is what he told me. And sometimes we just need someone in our corner and by our side, don't we? We all have those days where it's like, can I really pull this off? So sometimes we need tribe members, we need mentors who say, "I see you. You deserve more. Here's the way. Here's the path."